Our survey was born out of the need to find out which of the beautiful wines we get offered to buy would have the greatest commercial chance of success in our client and prospect base. So this started out as a buying tool, but then we rapidly worked out that it could translate into so much more. What we did was we analysed lists that were available in the public domain, looking at everything from great gastropubs through to Michelin-starred restaurants, to look at what was listed. We had a bias for prospects because we didn't want to simply play back what we were already buying and selling in our own client base. And this approach enabled us to look at independent operators, small chains, where the till roll data that gets shared further up in larger groups doesn't necessarily happen. Our approach was great variety and country-led, which was often, but not necessarily the same as regional, depending on where in the world you were. And based on the feedback that we've had, we've quadrupled our sample size year on year, up to 240 restaurants and over 18,000 wines. Nearest to me is James Ramsden, and then John Kleeman and Anne Kriebel.
What particularly chimes is the fact that by the glass is incredibly important.
And that's what we try and do at Pigeon. We don't list the varietals on the menu intentionally because we don't want people to go, oh well, I like Chardonnay, so I'm going to have that. It opens up a dialogue between our front of house and the customer, because you can have a chat about the wine as opposed to, you know, people just making assumptions based on previous experience. It's incredibly exciting, I find it, and sort of educational to taste 6, 8, sometimes 12 wines every week with great varietals.
It's about not being intimidating, and I spend more of my time asking them what they like than I do talking to them about what wines go with what food. So much when you do a pairing for a person, it's the person. If the person doesn't like big rich red, it doesn't matter how big and rich the dish they've got is, they're not going to like a big rich red, or vice versa. If they don't like light wines, they're not going to enjoy it. So you've really got to pair to the customer.
It's really about education. So just one, you know, it can be literally just one thing that you say is just like, you know, if you're going to go for the native experience, then, you know, try an English wine, and we'll let people taste it before they actually order a bottle and things like that, which is, and selling it by the glass as well is really, has really kind of helped it.
We came last year to Boyd's and there was by Trafalgar Square, and we listened to the trends there, which obviously has evolved over this year, but the fundamental changes is that it's wine by the glass is the sort of the driver this year. What was really interesting this year is there is a huge change across the sort of spectrum of what is perceived to be what we should be drinking. So this whole driver of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, the diversity of other grapes, which we're finding out is quite an interesting time. And then obviously delivery of it with Coravan and getting exposure to different sort of price points by doing that. It is an interesting time.
First is that I'm very happy because a 27% of increase in the trend is a lot. Garnacha is a very versatile grape that really shows the ground that it comes from. And also, Garnacha makers now are much more focused in trying to create more elegant, balanced wines with great acidity, sweet tannins, and avoiding very, very high oak profile that it was 10 years ago. And that's the reason why now it's much more food friendly, and it makes that the balance between the wine and the food is perfect now.